Welcome back to the page, guys. I hope you're all well. Now, if you follow me on other forms of socials, you will already recognise this 350Z behind me, as it has been in the workshop previously for other bits and pieces. But today it is in with me for a replacement clutch, a full service, along with a gear oil change and a diff oil change, as my friend that owns this car is taking it to France in the next week or two, and he wanted to make sure that everything was going to be as it should be. Now, I did say that it is a Nissan 350Z, and although it doesn't look a lot like a Nissan 350Z in its current form, we will get into what has been done to this car later on in the video. But like I say, for now, we need to get the clutch in it, we need to get the service done, and we need to get the rest of those fluids changed as well. So first thing we need to do is need to get it onto the ramp without damaging any of these body kits. Then once we've got it on the ramp, we can get it up in the air, and then we can take a look at what we've got to do. So now that we're underneath the 350, this is the gearbox that we need to remove in order to gain access to the clutch assembly. But before we can get the gearbox removed, there are a few bits and pieces, as you can see, that we need to remove to be able to get the box out. Now, those pieces are, we've got some wiring, as you can see. We've got a little bracket there which connects the cats to the bell housing or to the gearbox. We've got the Y section of the exhaust, which is just here. We've got this support bracket, which is inside the tunnel, which will then allow us to be able to remove the prop shaft. We've got to drain the gearbox of its oil, and once it all goes back together, we will refill it with some fresh oil. But nonetheless, we've got to drain it of its oil. Once that's drained, we can remove the slave cylinder. Once that's off, we can remove the mount. And then once all that's off, we'll be able to unbolt the bell housing and get this gearbox pulled away from the engine. So this gearbox is not going to remove itself, so I think you know what's going to come next. Let's cue the music, grab some tools, and let's get cracking. So there we go, that is the gearbox removed from this 350. Now, considering I've never removed one of these before myself, this wasn't actually too bad to do. Now, before we check out this, if you take a look on the floor down here, you'll see we've got all the bell housing bolts just there. We've got the prop shaft, which on these is carbon. We've got the Torqen Y piece, as you can see there, Torqen. We've got the Ultra Racing support brace just there. I will link the part numbers in the description below. We've got the brace for the cats to the bell housing or to the gearbox, and again we've got another ultra race brace just there. Again, there'll be a link for that in the description below. So once you've got all that off, you'll then be able to get the gearbox off, and then once you've got the gearbox off, we can turn our attention to removing the old clutch assembly. So we've got the pressure plate and the friction disc inside there, and the reason we're removing and replacing all this today is because when the car is warm and you're driving it quite hard, the clutch will begin to slip. So we've got to get the old assembly off. We can get the new assembly refitted. We've also got to fit a new release bearing, as you can hear that one is absolutely knackered. So let's not waste any more time. Let's just get the old clutch off. Let's get the new clutch on, and then we can get this gearbox refitted onto here, and then we can get everything put back together. Now, that is ridiculous. Oh, the crank's okay. That is... no need, Nissan. No need. So there we go, that is the release bearing fitted into the gearbox. We've got everything cleaned and greased as well, as you would have seen. And if we take a look up onto the engine, you'll see we've got the new flywheel and clutch that we've just fitted as well. Now, some of you may have noticed that the one we've just fitted is completely different to the one that we've got on the floor here, and you'll be able to see on the screen the one that we have just fitted. That is a single mass conversion. As you can see, this one here is a dual mass, and again on the screen you'll be able to see that this one rocks around, so that is one of the reasons why we are getting this replaced. Now, if you also take a look over here, you'll see we've got the clutch assembly, which this piece is the friction disc, and as you can see, it is a little bit glazed. It is rather close to the rivets there, as you can see. So that explains exactly what the customer was on about by saying once the engine or the car is hot, the clutch starts to slip higher up in the revs. So like I say, we've replaced the clutch assembly, we've replaced the flywheel for the solid mass flywheel as opposed to the dual mass, and we've also replaced the concentric slave. So all that's left to do is to get everything else fitted back up onto the car, including the gearbox. So let's not waste any more time. Let's just grab some tools, cue the music, and let's get cracking. So there we go, that is the 350 all done and dusted. Now on the floor down here, you'll see the clutch again that we have replaced. Now you would have also seen that we have replaced the engine oil and filter, we've replaced the gearbox oil, we've also replaced the diff oil, and off camera I have replaced the spark plugs and the windscreen wipers, as unfortunately time was getting on and I just needed to get this job done. So now that that's done, we've started it up, we've got oil exactly where we need it to be, we've got all the right pressures, so all that's left for me to do is to make sure my hands are nice and clean. I can jump inside this 350 and then we can take it out for a test drive. So long as I'm happy, once I'm back or while I'm out, I'll be able to show you around this car. Well, I don't think we're going to be getting very far without putting that on, are we? So while we wait for the engine to warm up, now would be a great time to tell you about today's video and channel sponsor, Holi. So Holi is a healthy alternative to the conventional energy drinks that we're already buying in the shops today, as those drinks are packed full of sugar, they're packed full of taurine, they're packed full of things that aren't really good or healthy for your body. Whereas Holi, on the other hand, it's got no sugar, no additives, no taurine, it's full of natural flavours, and the best part is there is no bullshit. So when you receive your first order from Holi, you will get what you see in front of you on the screen. Now, personally, I would recommend the Starter Deluxe set, as not only do you get the 3 individual boxes with the different types of drinks, you also get the choice between the plastic beaker or the plastic shaker and a metal thermal flask. Now, I personally went for the plastic beaker, as working in a garage, it is a lot easier to keep this clean than it is a metal flask. But obviously, you can decide what works best for you. So the 3 different types of drinks that are inside this box, we've got Holi Energy, we've got Holi Iced Tea, and we've got Holi Hydration. Now, each one of these is designed to do something different for your body. So we have Holi Hydration, which is designed to keep you refreshed and hydrated throughout the day. We have Holi Iced Tea, which is packed full of vitamins and fibre, so that means it's good for your body. And last but not least, we have got Holi Energy. Now, this contains the ingredient Nucaf, and what that does is it releases the energy into your body slowly, so you've got the energy that you're needing for a longer period of time. Now, all 3 of these do come with a variety of flavours, so if you don't like one, then don't worry. As you can see, there are plenty to choose from. So to prepare Holi, it is really, really simple. All you need to do is pick whichever flavour of whichever drink you want. In this case, we are going to have a Sour Cherry from the hydration range. And then all you do is you just rip open the packet, you just open it up, pour the contents of the packet into the beaker or your metal flask, whichever one that you decided to go with. And then all you do is you just add 500 millilitres or half a litre of water. You can then grab the lid, which is here. You can get the lid back on. And once the lid is back on, all we have to do is give it a good shaking, and that will mix all of the ingredients together with the water. And once it's all mixed in, you are ready to drink. So if you're thinking about making the switch to Holi, you can get £5 off your first order using the code TDM5, which should be below me on the screen now. And also, if you use the code TDM for every order after the first order, you'll receive 10% off as well. So I have already finished off this bottle of watermelon whale. As like I said earlier on, this is my personal favourite, and I'm certainly feeling a lot more rehydrated, a lot more refreshed. So thanks, Holi. there we go. I am back with the 350 after taking it out on a test drive, as you would have just seen in the previous clips. Now, I did say earlier on that I would show you around this car. It is going a little bit dark, so the quality might be a little bit off, but nonetheless, I am going to show you either way. So if we bring the camera in, you'll see that once upon a time, this was a relatively, well, it would have been a standard Nissan 350Z. But as you can see now, we've got a full veil side body kit. We've got these Ferrada wheels. I think they are 20s. All round, even though the fronts, they are pretty wide, but the rears, I mean, these are on a completely whole different level. If I get the phone, it is a bit dark, so it's a bit hard to see, but I mean, like, my hand is still, that is the back of the wheel there. Will I be able to get, no, you can't really see from down there either, but nonetheless, they are, I think they're about 12J wide. They are absolutely massive. And if you hadn't guessed, it is bagged, so it is running airlift performance struts along with the management, which you should be able to see now.
Nice.
And then if we take a look inside the boot, where's the pop out there? We'll be able to see the air tank system. We've got one tank there, we've got another tank there, and if we pop the boot floor up without breaking my finger, you'll see that we've got a nice tidy install just under there with the compressors. Now, the air install was done by the lads at AirTech, so if you want any air installing or anything to do with air ride, drop them a message, tell them that I've sent you their way and they will sort you out. But if we keep having a look around this 350, like I said earlier on, it is the full veil side body kit. So for those that do recognise it, it is sort of a replica-ish of the car from Tokyo Drift Fast and Furious.
You know what DK stands for?
Donkey Kong?
Drift King.
Drift. What do you mean, drift?
Still need a dictionary?
Now, if you paint it black, I guess it probably would be a full replica and you change the wheels as well. But personally, I prefer it in the red. Let me know in the comments what you'd prefer if this was yours. Would you have done a complete replica, or would you have done what my friend has done and painted it red? Now, the colour itself, I'm 90% sure that it's a Mustang colour, and he got it from the US or something like that. But nonetheless, personally, I think the colour suits this car with the body kit and all these things. The fact that it is done the way that it is the reason why I like it so much. Now, again, let me know in the comments what you think. So we've got another rear wheel there. The brakes, they are Z1, I think they're Z1 Motorsport or Z1 Sport brake, something like that. And if we come round to the front, you'll see we've got 4 pots on the fronts just there. Now, engine-wise, you may have seen earlier on in a previous clip where I was working on the engine that the inlet manifolds, they aren't standard either. They are from a Skyline GTR 35, whatever it is. I'm not really clued up on this Yap stuff, but that's what the inlet manifolds are from. And it is also running Cyvex aftermarket management along with the wiring loom. So that's a little quick rundown. Oh, I didn't show you the inside, actually. Let's just have a quick look on the inside. If we open the door, you'll be able to see we've got carbon look absolutely everywhere. I mean, even the kick plates, it's dripping in it. And we've got a fully Alcantara dashboard just there, you can see. We've got an Alcantara headlining. We've got Alcantara door cards. I mean, there isn't a piece of this Nissan that is still a Nissan, I think. I mean, or standard. Everything has been pretty much changed. Front lights, back lights. Absolutely everything has been changed. And one last little thing before we go, you may or may not have noticed that on the side we have got this Z badge here. Now, this isn't from a 350. I'm pretty sure it's from a 280Z. Not 100% sure. I might be wrong. If you do know what this badge is from, then again, let me know in the comment section below. As like I said earlier, I'm not really clued up on this sort of stuff. This is more my cup of tea, but we'll get to those in another video at a later date. But like I say, for now, it is going to be a wrap. As you can tell, it is starting to go dark, or it has gone dark, and I'm waiting for Diogo to come and fetch this. As like I say, later on this week, this car is going to be going to France. But luckily, well, not luckily, good for Diego, this car is all sorted and it will do that trip, no problem. So if you've enjoyed watching this video and you haven't already subscribed to the channel, I'd really appreciate it if you could just hit that subscribe button. While you're there, give the video a like, as all the support from you guys makes doing all this possible. So as always, thanks for watching, thanks for following, and I'll see you lot in the next one. Altogether, mint.